What's up folks, it's Chili here, and we just got the trailer for the Knights of Cross and Rose DLC expansion for Age of Empires 4. In this video, we're going to go through frame by frame and just check everything out and see what we can identify, all the new information, and maybe go over some of the cool stuff that we're going to be receiving in this DLC. Let's dive into it. Whoa! Okay, so quite a few things to go over real quick. Already we're seeing a lot of the units that we saw previously, but we're also seeing some new units. First off, these are the Knights Templar. We saw these in the previous promo images. We also saw them in the Sultan's Ascend campaign originally. They were featured in the campaign, but they were not actually added to the game. Over on the bottom right-hand corner, we see the little Templar man-at-arms, as well as this Knight unit that's like more like a Horseman Lancer unit. We saw this in the promo images as well, but this is something that we haven't seen before. These are like two-handed Zweihander units, almost reminiscent of the Lance Connect already in the game for HRE. They have the large swords, but they also have full plate armor, which the Lance Connect do not have. Lance Connect are light units currently, and these guys look to be a lot heavier. Over here, we see the Pavese crossbows, which many suspected to be of Milanese origin, probably based on the insignia of the shield right there. It might be the case, and here we see some other Pavese crossbowmen, probably one of the Crusader reinforcements that you can receive, and then also a lot of siege. I'm guessing we're not actually going to be using siege towers though. These are still pretty useless in the game. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa! Right here is another unit. So here you can see the Lance Connect type unit. You can see them in the animation holding their two swords charging in. But right next to them are hooded figures with the white cross and a black robe. That is probably a Hospitaller men-at-arms. So in the Sultan's Ascend campaign, we actually have Hospitaller knights added into the game. They have the black hoods, but we haven't yet seen any preview images of that so far for the Knights of Cross and Rose. So now this basically confirms the Knights Hospitaller are in game, and we also see a priest with the black hood. So it could be a Hospitaller type of priest. Hospitallers were famous for starting some of the first hospitals in Europe during the time of the Crusades. Another interesting thing to note here is that the art style of this background seems very reminiscent of what we saw in the Sultan's Ascend campaign. They have little art cinematics coming in before the actual main stage. We're not really seeing art by Craig Mullins here. Normally you have like a splash image showing the beautiful art by Craig Mullins. I'm wondering if either the art is just simply not done yet, or if we might have a slightly different kind of hero art piece this time around. Whoa, so many things happening here. Okay, so on the left side here, we have the Jinite, and we see a few more in the front here. These are the Spanish or Castilian reinforcements that you can get for the Crusaders. Up on the walls here, we see what look to be a standard kind of crossbowman unit. Keep in mind the Crusaders are a variant of the French civilization, and the French normally have arbalètriers. So now that they have a normal crossbowman unit, this might be a replacement so that the French can keep their unique arbalètrier. Up on the top, we see those unique Hospitaller men-at-arms, and we see the glowing effect once again, probably with the ones closest to the Crusader keep over here. This is the Templar fortress. So I'm guessing the Templar fortress gives some kind of AOE buff, very similar to the English network of castles potentially, where it's like buffing all the units around it. In the center here, we see the Templar men-at-arms, and then on the left here, we see the Teutonic men-at-arms with their beautiful feathered helmets, also a unit that we saw in the Sultan's Ascend campaign. Today. Okay, and we're noticing some of the flags here. I'm guessing this is the flag of Castile. It looks like a red background with a yellow castle. And then this is probably the Teutonic Knights. And then here is something I can't quite identify, so I won't even try further. But in the middle here, of course, we see this Hui Hui Pao looking giant trebuchet thing sitting on the top of the Crusader fortress. So we already saw this in a previous preview photo, so it seems like that's one of the unique advantages of the Crusaders.
Force the world to remember the name of King Bob.
Ooh, beautiful. Okay, so here we have the Venetian galleasses. You can see the flag of Venice right on the oh my god, what is this called? The cloth that they have for the ships here. And the galleass is a unique unit for the French currently in the game. Galleasses did originally come from Venice, so it's finally good to see that there is some representation for the Venetians here. And I'm guessing for the Crusaders, or for the Templars rather, they just directly gave them the Venetian skin. We're also seeing the walls going directly up against the keeps. This happened with the Templar Fortress too. I'm not sure if this is already a thing in the game. I don't think you can currently build walls all the way to the point where you're touching the keep, and the keep is actually incorporated into the wall. So that's a really cool new thing being added potentially. Whoa, okay, so many things to go over here. Okay, first off, we see the Wingard Palace. So it seems like the Lancaster variant will be getting some of the standard English landmarks, including the Wingard. I think it's called the Wingard Palace, right? And then we also saw previously the White Tower in another promo image. But these are two very interesting buildings over here. This first one almost looks like a English university mixed together with the what was it called? The King's Church or something like that. Point is, it seems like the devs did a much better job of going in and just kind of mix and matching different assets to try to build something that looks a lot more unique. We did see this happening previously with the Jushi's Legacy. So you can tell here with this landmark right here, it looks like the combination of an English keep with the King's, is it called the King's Palace? It's the Age 3 Town Center landmark. It seems like that a little bit of a mix of that with the keep. It looks like this time around, the devs went a little bit more into trying to make more interesting silhouettes out of these landmarks rather than just simply directly copying the buildings and just kind of piecing them together, which is what we saw with the Jushi Legacy landmarks. And over on the left side here, we see what looks like a combination of a town center and a house. I'm guessing that this is the unique building for the Lancaster forces. We did hear about this in the announcement post. So really cool to see. There's quite a few different manors, and it also looks like we both get the manor as well as the house for the civilization. So it's not just the manor replacing the house as we saw in Age of Empires 3. This is a completely unique building, and I'm not sure what the benefits are. They mentioned something about gathering resources with this building or generating resources. Maybe it has an influence system, and like things like this lumber camp would provide additional resources if it's in the influence of the manor. That's just a wild guess from my part, though.
The strength of our king's claim.
And we also see right here a unique king unit. We saw this promo image previously, calling out these Warhammer Men-at-Arms back here again. It looks like this king is actually a unique unit to the Civ. It's not just simply a campaign unit. Actually, I don't think this expansion comes with a campaign at all. So if I had to guess, this is actually just a unique king unit, and we see it in the previous image over here as well.
Our king's claim will fall upon them with swift.
Once again, we see these Warhammer Men-at-Arms throwing what looks like knives or something, darts of some kind, and it looks like they throw two at a time. So this is very similar to the Donzos in the Malian faction, where the Donzos throw a spear before charging. It looks like these Warhammer Men-at-Arms throw these knives or something like that before charging.
And deadly force.
Okay, not much too different going on here. We have seen this image before. Look, just want to shout out the pretty blue color for the Templars in this particular image. Battle of Montisgard, Siege of Safed. Unfortunately, I don't know too many details about these exact historical battles. It does look interesting here that in the Siege of Safed, it looks like a Templar fortress is in the middle of what looks to be Abbasid architecture. We see the Abbasid University as well as the mosque here. I'm guessing this is just an interesting setup for the campaign. That's why they added the fortress here. I don't think it's anything particularly unique. Man, I don't know anything about these battles, but we see a really interesting wood pyre here, probably just a campaign asset in this case. And this building right here looks like another manor. So if I had to guess, Aftermath of Towton is coming from the War of the Roses, which I don't know the names of all the battles in there, but I'm guessing that we get some historical battles from the War of the Roses as well, not just simply the Crusader campaign. Wow, Agincourt looks beautiful. Famously, Agincourt fought on a muddy field. Shout out to the movie The King. If you haven't seen it yet, they depicted the mud really amazingly there. A lot of these longbowmen in the background here, not looking like your typical longbowmen. They actually have hoods on top of their heads, maybe taking a page from the Wingard Rangers for the English forces. It would be really cool to see this kind of asset get added into the multiplayer version of the game as well.
A new French battalion is joining the fight. Victory is ours.
Okay, and in this image, we see all the units kind of coming together here. Knights Templar in the front, some regular spearmen. We see the Teutonic Knights, what are probably Sicilian sergeants with these axemen men-at-arms looking guys over here, Templar men-at-arms, and then the Pavese crossbowmen in the back here. I also wonder if these are a unique kind of trebuchet, because we've seen this quite a few times, and I'm not sure the regular trebuchet has these like wooden appendages on top there. I don't even know what that is. Also, these are these villagers, or are these something else? It almost looks like this guy's going over to the sacred site to pray. Am I seeing that correctly? He's holding something. Is this a priest of some sort? He seems to be doing some kind of special ability here. This is really interesting. I wonder if this is like a pilgrim type of unit. I did feature pilgrims in my own version of the modded civilization version of the Crusaders. So it would be interesting to see if there's like some kind of unit that likes to go to sacred sites specifically to pray with their their pilgrim staff or something like that, famously used by pilgrims during the Crusades to just help them walk around. So many interesting details in this particular trailer. Not in this particular image. I think we've already seen everything to call out here. It does look like this right here is a interesting, unique unit, though. I think we saw a brief glimpse of this in the corner of one of the preview images. And so here we have the men-at-arms, the Warhammer men-at-arms, are throwing their attack before charging in. We see the little darts that they throw like 2 daggers at a time, which is a weird thing. I don't know if historically men-at-arms like threw double daggers before charging, but right here, last time we just saw the barest glimpse of the front of a horse, and this is the regular English knight. So this is something entirely different, and it almost looks like an HRE HRE knight based on just the armor styling. But if I had to guess, this is like a demi-lancer or some kind of unique Lancaster type of knight that's actually different from your regular knight. Maybe this comes from the Wingard Palace. I'm guessing it's not part of the standard roster. It's probably a unique unit coming in as one of the coming in from one of the unique landmarks that they can build. There's also just the faintest hint of a unit that has a slightly different silhouette behind this this like dust here. I don't know if there's like okay, we can't get a better frame of it, unfortunately. I wonder if that's just a regular knight or if that's nope, yeah, that is just a regular knight. Okay, I'm seeing things. All right, cool. Well, that is it for the Knights of Cross and Rose. We saw so many interesting things coming out here. April 8th. I can't wait for this DLC to come out and try out all these civs myself. Let me know what you think. If is there anything I missed in this trailer breakdown. And as always, stay frosty, stay chilly.